Good afternoon, Scott Rowlett, T3 Live. Welcome to today's recap. It is Monday, and today I think was a welcome sight for a lot of guys that do trade high beta names, tech, bios. We've actually started out in the red today, and we went from red to green, which is a trade that a lot of traders like to make. On top of that, you had some price points that you could have used a tier system for to get a little bit more bang for the buck, so to speak. So with that being said, I think, if you were on the VTF today, you saw us go and put on positions, and they matched up with the Red Laurel All Access node, where we put a lot of if-thens together, and then here, all of a sudden, boom, a better day than we've had. I know on Friday, I was thinking a little bearish. I was short the spiders, short a little Facebook, got stopped out around 3 o'clock. Instead of getting frustrated and upset, I was like, you know what? Trade didn't work. Went long Apple towards the end of the day. Everyone in the VTF saw that, and and today was a really nice day there as well as some other of those names. So let's just get right into it. First things first, look at the S&P. S&P, the trend that we've been in for 2 years or so, or even more, whatever. This is the range we've been navigating up here. And without all the rhetoric and without all the people talking and behind the scenes and this and that, has it been horrendous? No. But has it been hard? Yes. Okay, here was that first breakout failure to the bottom end of the range, breakdown failure, right back in. This time we tried to break out again and it didn't work, but look where it came from, a 3-day move. And I know for those who've been following us in the VTF, this was a nice trade in the spiders, got out on this day. Granted, didn't get in short the day that Tepper came out with his comments when we broke this little pivot. But he broke this pivot, so we were trying to figure out how would we digest, and then that happened. So at least hopefully you didn't get caught. And then what did we have here? We had a low, higher low, and right in there. And then on Friday, boom. They couldn't break this support. If the bears are so damn strong, they could have broken this right here, and they didn't. And so that was the day that some people covered, maybe a position, because tech did act decent on that day, and so did some bios, and so did actually the Russell. And then today you had another push. So here we are today. Right back at 1885. Everyone's like, oh, it's a trap. We're going to fail. Tomorrow we're going to be down huge. Who knows? At this point, there's been some good patterns and lots of stocks moving around, and let's get to a few of them. My focus today was Apple. That's what I came in long, and ever since the earnings gap, it's been trading really well. First move through 600, could not really sustain it because of the move from earnings, and then you had a nice consolidation phase where the 8 and the 21 caught up. I know on this day it looked as if it was going to stay in the range, right? That was a Thursday when the market got pressured. Then what happened? Red Dog reversal on Friday through 588, switch some gears, maybe get long, come in today looking to add, and then you had that. So now the question is, do we do a little bit of digestion here before we continue? Or, do we just continue to get a day 4 and a day 5 or a day 3? I like to do day 1 is your buy. Day 2, maybe you add. Day 3, you trim and trail if we get it. Let's see what happens tomorrow. All we know now is 607.33. Do I think this was the high of 2014? No. On the radar this morning was Netflix. Talked about it in the morning call express. Nice little move. Here was your low, higher low, bull flag, short squeeze right there through 354. Also in the Red Laurel Access, I talked about this level. I actually talked about above 350, and then that's a nice trade. Granted, it's not back at highs, and I know it's down for the year, whatever. But if you sold here and you sold at 21 day, nice little trade if you were there for it. I think Google's interesting, where it's setting up for another move. Okay, this was the ascending channel that broke to the downside. Then you had your low, broke above this descending channel, came in a little bit more than you would have want, and then a strong day today. I think this can continue. Not sure if tomorrow we're just going to blast through this resistance level, okay, which you could see going across, but I do think this will be a nice little pivot to use. Okay, if we have an inside day tomorrow or we just continue, perhaps we get a move a little bit further to the 560, which is something we talked about last week. Today was a nice day there. As far as social media, I know social media has been on the defensive, and I've been getting my butt kicked within the last 2 weeks by Facebook. Let's hope that maybe it gets a little cleaner. Today, Facebook, not extreme and didn't lead the way. It actually was weaker earlier on. Here is that head and shoulders top right there that led to a move to support. Support held, small higher low, little descending channel here, closed okay. I guess for it to get, a little friskier, it's got to really close above this 60-50 with authority. We need volume, we need authority, not such a lackluster range, but if you're looking for something to do, today, I know here I want it to be short, here you want to be long, and then maybe we get something a little bit more fluid. LinkedIn also looking a little bit better, okay, from all the way up at 255 to right here. At least there is a pattern. Okay, we look for tradable patterns, and today it was strong pretty much all day. Here's a little bit of a break above this small descending channel here. Here is that hammer bottom. Remember that? I went home long that night, gave you a small move, held in there, and now you have another level of resistance that could be a technical buy area. So if it were to get through 153 tomorrow, I bet your shorts get squeezed a little bit more, and why not get a move to 160? There's a 21-day. I am a little bit long this overnight as well. Yelp also had a decent day. Sperling was all over that. It too, granted, has a lot of work to do. I'm not saying go out and invest in Yelp and correction over, but if you sold here or the 8 and 21 day, you have a bottom tail right here, and you have a first day here, and there's a little bit of room for a trade, and that's what we do. We're traders. I don't care what anyone says out there. Anyone that poo-poos trading or active trading or using pivots or just, they say, oh, I don't even know what they say anymore, because you listen to Gartman. He's bullish and bearish every other day. Today you had Ralph on. He came out with his big correction warning on Thursday. Today he was backtracking a little bit because the action is a little different. Everyone changes their opinion. That's what this market's been doing to everyone here, is changing their opinion, and why not? Change it day to day, have a thesis, wait for the market to confirm it, and keep moving those feet. So this way you could at least take advantage of it if it's a day and a quarter move or a day and a half move, and sometimes we get a few multi-day moves. As far as the banks, I did buy a little Bank of America today, but I do not think it's compelling. I don't think it's a, run back in, but if you sold 1750-ish or you sold when it broke here, a little day one. Little day one, maybe it's got room to 15. Who knows? And I don't even know if that's going to take place. You had the TBTs get a small bounce, so maybe it'll help the banks a little bit. Here's your first day bounce. It's happened a few times, but it hasn't lasted. Bounce, lower, and the trend's been down, and it's probably still down, but there's at least maybe some room to fill some of these gaps to here. So that could give you a little bit of a trade in Bank of America and some of the other ones. Morgan, let's see how that looks. All these banks are just horrendous, to be honest. At least this one's above the 200-day. Goldman Sachs gets some flows from the Dow below the 200-day. JP Morgan, what are you doing? Day one. These are still broken. You have a gap here, you have a gap there. But every day we got to find some compelling things to do, and the banks aren't compelling, but they could get an oversold bounce. Guys on the floor were also talking about maybe an oversold bounce, and your LVS that held the 200-day. It's been trending lower, but if the market wants to lift a little bit, there's probably some more room there and some more room left in WIN to lift a little bit, but these trends have been lower. This is above the 200-day as well. The bios, hanging in there. I was talking about people saying this is a bear flag. I'm not so sure. All I know is if you got out here at 260-ish, there's been some opportunity in here. There's your bottom tail holding above the 200-day. If it were to get above this 233, you could see some more action there. You have names like Celgene acting a little bit better. Actually, not really. We'll see how this holds there. Maybe Guild's acting a little better. Guild's acting a little bit better. I know I had ITMN on the Red All Access, and nice little move there. This actually is leadership capabilities, big gap up above the 8 and 21-day. Nice move there. ACT, what did that do today? Actually, this is on the radar. This could be on the radar again tomorrow. What did BIIB do today? Hanging in there. So nothing blaring there, but maybe tomorrow they'll be worth a look, and that's what we're doing. We look each day at what's going on, and we try and figure out where the flows are going next, and hopefully just be prepared if that happens. Gold, people are asking me to take a look. I don't know. It's still, to me, very hard. I'm not really doing much there. This was the calculated trade above this downtrend. That was your exhaustion gap, and now it's getting tight again. So today it opened up and closed on the lows. I don't know what that means. Some people are saying it means it's going to go lower and the market's going to go higher. At this point, this is a choppy mess, very hard, very random, lots of stuff overnight. I'm just avoiding. If you're in there today, closed red, you have a small support here, but it looks as if it's getting ready for something. I just don't know which way. I guess, water pistol to face because it's the summertime. I would think lower, but I don't know. We'll see what happens there. And that's really it. We have a webinar tonight for Off the Chart subscribers, so I got to get going. Hopefully, if you're looking at this, you might be a subscriber to Off the Charts, and if you're not, go check it out on the front of the site. If you hear me talking about Redler All Access as well, that's a note that I write every day that I talk about strategies that I'm going to be looking at for the trading day, sometimes on just an active time frame, sometimes bigger. Take a look there. Lots of stuff you could use if you're lost out there, lots of resources that are at your disposal. You just have to take it upon yourself to put yourself in a better position because there are trades going on. The last thing you want to do is be trapped in a cocoon and frustrated and just make a difference to yourself and the people around you, and let's hope that some of this action continues because today was a nicer day in tech and some of those growth areas, and we'll see what happens as the setups keep showing their faces. Have a great night.